Hi, welcome to the Carnivore Stories podcast with me, Alyssa Grubner. The carnivore way of eating completely transformed my life, and it's stories just like the ones you'll hear on this podcast that kept me going every step of the way. I hope you're ready to hear an inspirational carnivore story. I know I am, but first, let me tell you about the Meat-tastic t-shirts I have for sale on my spring store. It's a great opportunity for you to become a walking billboard if that's what you're into. And it's a great opportunity for you to support your new favorite podcast. You can find a link to the spring store in my bio on Instagram at Meat, M-E-A-T, Mrs. M-R-S, Grubs, G-R-U-B-S. I'll also put a link to the store in this video's description on YouTube. So check it out and get some carnivore swag. Welcome to episode 33 of the Carnivore Stories podcast. Today I'm here with Chuck Bates, living in Long Beach, California. Thank you so much for being here today, Chuck.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you on the show. So let's start off with you telling everyone about what brought you to Carnivore in June 2022.
So my partner, we went on vacation back in March around my birthday. And on my birthday, the waiter took a photo of he and I together. And I looked at the photo and I was like, man, because your perception of yourself and what the reality is always totally different, So I saw that photo and I felt I needed to do something. I had to do something. And so I immediately when we boarded the plane, I said, I'm going to start keto. I had been vegan for a year and a half before then. And I started watching a lot of keto videos. I came across Thomas DeLauer. I don't know if you know who that is, but I came across Thomas DeLauer and I started just listening to his stuff. And he was keto at the time. And I'm pretty sure he still does keto. But I started listening to him. And then I started feeling the benefits, and I was losing weight from the keto diet, but I wanted to take it a step further. So in my quest for knowledge on the keto, I ran into Dr. Ken Berry. And then I started listening to his YouTube videos, and he talked about the carnivore diet. And so I was scared. I was like, it's just eating meat like that. It's just like, how can someone just do that? How can you just continuously just eat meat all the time with no veggies, because you were brought up to think that veggies was the primary thing that you needed to have in your diet. I'm like, I can't just eat meat. And so I want to try something. I'm going to venture out and I want to try something. So I said, I'm going to do it for a month. And so in June, I started to eat meat. I told my partner, I said, hey, I'm going to do this for 30 days. I want to see how it goes. And he's like, okay, do you just do you. And I started eating, and then the benefits of it just started to come. It's like one after the other. Better sleep. My blood pressure went down. I started losing, I was losing at one time 8 to 10 pounds a week. And I was like, okay, it is something to this diet that has transformed me in such a short amount of time. Why didn't I know about this sooner? And before you knew it, in March, I was at 311 pounds. I'm at 235 pounds, all within a year. And I was like, I cannot stop singing this diet's praises now. I cannot. It is wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. Once you see the light, you cannot unsee it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
first, I know what those pictures are like, those honesty pictures, like you can't hide from it and you see yourself and you're like I know when I saw a picture of myself, and this was after I lost weight though, and I was 260 pounds. I looked at my husband, I was like, you when were you gonna say something?
I know. I was the
Like
same way.
like you were just gonna let this keep happening. Because it is shocking, because you what you think you're seeing and what's really going on can be two different things. And then I wanted to ask you, what was your experience like on a vegan diet?
So during COVID, I was struggling again because I've always yo-yoed with my weight going up and down. I've tried everything, and so I was watching YouTube about health, something on YouTube, and then I ran across What the Health video, and the way that they structured that documentary and how they presented it, you couldn't help but to get sucked into that, you know, the vegan dogma, the vegan diet. And so I was like, meat must be killing me. It must be meat that's making me fat. It must be that, it must be all this other stuff. Now I started being vegan in 2020. And I did start to see some benefits because, I was moving from the standard American diet. I had taken out all the bad stuff, that I have been eating, and I'm eating more vegetables now, But I also was eating a lot of bread. I was also eating a lot of processed food, a lot of seed oils, all of those things that I was continuous to eat, but I was still being vegan. And I lost a little bit of weight in the beginning, but then it started coming right back on me. And my blood pressure stayed high. And I'm like, I've been doing so well on the vegan diet. Why is my blood pressure still high? I went to the doctor. It was to the point I went to the doctor and he took my blood pressure and they had to keep me there almost to the point of getting ready to hospitalize me because my blood pressure had gotten up that high. And I was like, okay, I'm eating a vegan diet and they say that this is the optimal way to eat. Why is my blood pressure high? Why am I still pre-diabetic? Why am I still having acid reflux? And so, I continued. I'm like, maybe I'm doing something wrong. So I started eating more whole vegetables, still with the rice and all of that, and the grains and all of that. And I kept eating that. I'm like, maybe I'm doing vegan wrong. And so I kept doing it. I kept doing it. And I still didn't see any benefits. I started gaining more weight being vegan than I was eating the standard American diet, And
Wow.
at the end of 2021, I said, you know what? I'm going to have a piece of shrimp. I'm going to just eat some fish. So I ate fish. It was like a euphoric feeling. I got that protein into my body. And I'm like, okay, well, I feel
Finally.
good doing this. Finally, I'm starting to feel more benefits. I'm starting feeling better now. But I was still eating the rice. I was still eating a lot of vegetables. I was still eating all of that. And then I'm like, let me add some steak to my diet. And I was listening to your first video and I heard you do that like scream. I was like, okay, that's how I felt. I felt like my body has just hit the jackpot because I've introduced meat back into my diet, So yeah, being vegan, and I always was hungry. I was forever hungry being a vegan. I would never not want to eat. And it just, I don't have those cravings anymore. I eat like a regular person now. I'm not eating every hour on the hour. I'm satiated. Sometimes I forget that I haven't eaten, so it's just been a
Yes.
continuous I've been amazed by this diet. Yeah.
Yes. And anybody listening, if you look at Chuck's before and after pictures, I mean, it's amazing. He has aged in reverse. And, lo and behold, the solution was, all of this meat and not all those vegetables. So Chuck, when you were at the doctor's office and your blood pressure was sky high, you're talking about hospitalizing you. If the doctor had said to you, hey, if you just cut out the carbs, you're not going to have an issue with your blood pressure anymore. Would you have been receptive to that in that moment and been like,
No.
okay.
No, I wouldn't have been receptive to it. The thing about it, because a lot of people are reaching out to me and they're asking me about my diet. You have to really want to change. You have to really, really have a why of why you're doing something. And at that point, I didn't have my why. I didn't. Even with me looking at my blood pressure at where it was, I still didn't have a definitive reason why I wanted to lose weight or wanted to get better, because I wasn't ready to get better at that time. But now, it's, once you learn what your why is, then there's no stopping you at that point. And I wasn't ready then.
Okay. And so what is your why?
Well, my why is, so my dad had 2 heart attacks. My dad had a heart attack in 2011, and then he had another one in 2016. And I have a son. I really want to be here to see my grandkids one day. I don't want to, I don't want my story to end with something that I could have prevented. I want to be able to live long, live healthy, and experience life to the fullest until my time expires. So that's my why, and I want to be healthy.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that you have to have a why, and it needs to be a strong one. It can't be like, oh, I want to look cute in my bikini, or, I just want to try this out, because you're not going to stick to it, especially something like carnivore, because it feels good to eat, all the junk. But like you, I have a very strong why. My mother had a stroke in her early 40s, and I saw myself headed down that path even sooner than she had if I didn't change something. And I saw myself leaving my children to grow up without me, and so it's a very powerful why that keeps me going strong every single day, staying with this way of eating and all the lifestyle changes I've made. Okay, so you found carnivore in June 2022. Did you have any issues adapting to having your diet consist only of meat, like protein and fat?
No, because I started off doing keto, so I had gone through the whole keto flu and everything.
Okay, so you did go through a keto flu when you started keto.
When I first started,
Okay.
I did. Like at the end of March, when I actually started the keto, trying to wean myself, it's like a drug. You're trying to get off of sugar and breads and all of those type of things. And it was kind of hard for me because I had headaches in the beginning, not knowing that it was mostly due to maybe an electrolyte deficiency. I didn't know what it was, but I experienced it. So I had gone through that already. And by the time I made it to carnivore, I had gone through it, and it was easier for me. It wasn't that hard. I didn't experience any kind of, side effects or anything of that, except for the good ones.
Okay. So do you supplement with any electrolytes then? Do you add anything extra?
No. No, I take a magnesium pill. I do that.
Okay.
I do take a magnesium pill, but other than that, no. I use Redmond's Real Salt, so you're getting your minerals and everything from the salt. But other than that, no.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So when you finally decide to take the plunge into carnivore, meat only, what were you eating?
Steak.
Steak. Okay.
Ribeye all the time. I subscribe to ButcherBox, and so I would get ribeyes and just eat steak all day, to the point that my partner thought I
Mm,
was crazy, because I would, I would fix him a meal with his steak, and he eats what he wants. And so
okay.
I would have two big ribeyes on my steak, on my plate, and I would just eat it. But then, I'm like, I'm full. I can eat as much as I want. And you're still having to eat every hour,
Yes.
getting hangry every few minutes. And so I eat this and I'm done. So yeah.
Okay.
But I eat a lot
Awesome.
of steak. I rarely eat chicken. I
Hmm.
eat chicken every now and then. I rarely eat pork. It's mostly beef that I eat.
Hmm. Yes. Um, how about before carnivore? Did you have more of a taste for chicken and pork?
I did. Chicken was my jam. I would go to that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. But now I don't have
Yeah.
a taste for it anymore. It's time to change my taste buds for it. I don't have a
Hmm.
taste
Yeah, your body starts to know where the good stuff's at, and it's like, no,
for
leave that
it.
stuff alone. Just eat mostly this stuff. Um, so do you still eat mostly steak then?
Yes.
Okay, okay, awesome, awesome. That my husband, he took the kids out to go play soccer, and he said something about picking up ribeyes, and I don't know if it's really going to happen, but I really hope it does after talking to you about all the steak. um okay, well, what have you tried any organs?
Yeah, I eat chicken livers. I do eat chicken
Okay.
livers, and then not often, but I eat them. And then I do eat calf liver, and it's
Okay.
so good. I used to, I always loved liver. In college, I used to run people out of the dorm with frying liver in my dorm room. But I would always bread it, but now I don't bread it. I just kind of slightly cook it so I can have it a little bit raw and stuff.
Okay.
So I eat liver. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. How about dairy? Is that something that you include in your diet at all?
Sparingly, I do. If I eat cheese, I eat aged cheese. I don't eat anything that's like pasteurized or anything like that.
Okay.
Um, and occasionally I'll use heavy whipping cream in a dish or something, but it's very, very rare that I do.
Okay. All right. Um, so if you're gonna really splurge, something special's going on, an anniversary, birthday, what's your favorite carnivore treat to have, carnivore food, maybe a guilty pleasure?
So like last night, yesterday I fasted. I did a 24-hour fast, and we went to Ruth Chris last night, and I had a
Oh,
tomahawk. That is my favorite. That
oh
is
my
my favorite.
goodness.
That tomahawk
Oh,
steak is the bomb. I love
oh yes. Oh man. Okay.
it.
Okay. And then how about social events, or because you were vegan for a year and a half, is anybody like really shocked about this change, or has it been awkward going out with friends, anything like that?
Yeah, it was always awkward going out with my friends, because we had to pick a restaurant that was vegan friendly. Now, it's a lot of restaurants here in Long Beach that are vegan friendly,
Mhm.
but they always had to be mindful of that when going out with me, because like, well, we got to pick somewhere that Chuck is going to be able to eat, and it was always a stressful situation because they wanted to accommodate my diet. Now everywhere sells meat, so it's like,
Yes.
so
Yes, yes. Now, because I remember those days, and we had to find a restaurant that I could get something other than a side salad and French fries. And it was like everybody's kind of giving me the eye, like, Alyssa, you got to go somewhere special. But it is a relief now that anywhere I go, they've got some meat on the menu.
yes.
Um,
And I got
yeah.
tired of eating fries all the time, because I would break down and go to a restaurant with them, but I only could eat fries and a salad. That was
Mhm.
not, I got tired of that. So plus it was very unhealthy. So
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And you know what? When I don't know if you can relate, but when I was doing the vegan thing, in my mind, I just thought meat was like the end all be all, the most unhealthy thing you could eat. And anything, it could be a deep fried Oreo. Oh, it's better than a steak.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Yeah. So you
Yes,
can
that's
relate
exactly
to
how
that.
it was. And I kept, trying to push my veganism on my mom, and then on my son, telling him, hey, this is the best way to eat right here. And, I was ignorant at the time. Just
Hmm.
I was totally ignorant at the time. And now I'm having to pull all of that back and say, I was wrong. It is not
Yes.
it's not the best way to eat at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I know what that's like. I've left like a huge like legacy from my vegan days. It was for it this was years ago. I think it was like my 22nd birthday. And we went to a vegan restaurant. It was called Viva La Vegan. And I was so excited because I got a buffalo cauliflower po' boy. And I took a picture of it and put it on Google reviews. Oh my goodness, Chuck. They are still sending me Google, like, oh, you've got 20,000 people said this is helpful. And it's like still haunting me to this day that I'm sending people to this vegan restaurant.
Now you're not even vegan anymore. It's like, yeah.
Right, right.
That gotten to the point because I started like creating vegan dishes and I was making a whole Instagram
Hmm.
about veganism and I was doing all of that and yeah, I had to pull all of that back, and when I
Yes.
did come out and I told people that I was starting to eat meat, everybody was like, welcome back to the meat side and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Initially I kind of felt like I had my tail tucked between my legs, like, okay, I do need meat. But now I am a proud meat eater, and there's nothing anybody can tell me that would
Yeah.
make me think meat is any less than, the best thing to
Yes.
happen to my health.
Yeah. Yeah. I just the mental clarity that I'm getting from just eating meat and my mood is much better. It's just so many amazing benefits that I just don't understand why everyone is not on this diet. I really don't. And so I've just started dedicating my time to posting about it. Hopefully I can help one person,
Mhm.
come to this way of eating just so they can feel as amazing as I do. That's my go-to now. That's what I want to do.
Yes, yes. And I have to say it totally makes my day when someone contacts me and something that I've put out there into the internet world has helped them. Um, because it's so powerful. It's empowering when you hear somebody's healing from something you're dealing with, or there is hope that you can lose weight, that you can improve your blood pressure, or whatever else you might be dealing with. So that's awesome that you're making a footprint out there and helping us spread the word.
Yeah, you too. And like I said, I was inspired by your story. I'm like, man, we went through the whole. It's like we were like brother and sister. We went through the whole thing, the same. Your story
Yes.
is similar to mine. I'm like, okay, it's I had to
Yes.
talk to her. So I was so happy when you reached out to me.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, okay, so did we talk about your weight loss? You kind of just touched on the weight loss, but you've lost a lot of weight. Can you talk a little bit more about that and your whole experience with weight loss on Carnivore?
Yeah. So I mean, like I told you, I started out at 311 pounds. And this is with me working out. I was working out and still at 311 pounds, not knowing that it is your diet because you cannot outrun a bad diet. You cannot outlift or do anything to outrun a bad diet. And so yeah, I started out at 11 pounds. I got depressed after I saw the scale because I've always knew I was heavy, but I never thought that I was up to 311
Mhm.
pounds. And when I saw the scale, I'm like, good Lord, what did I do? What, you know, what what is it that I need to do to make this change? I have to do something. And so yeah, I just started losing, like I said, 8 to 10 pounds a week. I'm like, oh my God. To the point I'm like, is something wrong with me? Am I sick? I was gonna go to the doctor, like, I'm losing so much weight. Is that even healthy for me to be losing this much weight? And and my clothes started fitting better. I had to get rid of an arsenal of clothing now because all of my clothes are big fitting. Now I'm down 2 to 3 sizes now. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it was amazing. And all of this within the time span of a year, I lost all this weight. So I'm just singing his praises and hoping someone just listen and just really take heed to what I'm saying. You need to really try this
Mhm.
diet. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And Chuck, you look great. So I know that on like some people on other diets, they might lose that much weight every week, but you're not like deflated. Okay. You got muscle mass and you look good. You don't look like you just lost all your muscle and like half your bone. It looks like you were losing fat all that time. And that is just amazing. And so you still work out. What do your workouts look like?
I don't work out that much. I do. I work out strength training with a trainer. I do have a trainer that I work out
Okay.
with 2 to 3 times a week. Only about an hour session or hour and 30 minutes within those 2 days. And then I started initially when I started the keto diet. I was walking 4 miles every other day. Just I'll do 4 miles. Now I start to run. I'm starting to run. I can't do a full 4 mile run yet, but I'm working myself up to it. I can, run 2 miles now, and I'm getting, yeah, I do that, and that's the only thing that I do really is I weight lift maybe an hour and a half a week, and then I'll walk or run the rest of it.
Okay. Wow. That is terrific. That is terrific. I'm so proud of you. You're doing great things for your health, for your body, your mind, everything. Um, what about your partner? Like what has he thought about all this? Because you went from excuse me, Chuck, but Michelin man to like sexy Chuck. What does he think of this? I mean, because it's two different men he's got here.
Yeah. So he's naturally thin. Like, he just,
Mhm.
you have those people who just, he can eat whatever he wants and never gains weight. I hate him. And so, yeah, he's been very supportive. He just says that when you put your mind to something, you do it. And he's proud of me
Mhm.
in that aspect. So he's very supportive. He's very supportive. He, initially he thought I was crazy. You are crazy eating all that meat, but he's very supportive now. He sees the health benefits now. And I can do more stuff with him because he likes to get out and go do stuff. And now I'm eager to do it. I was a huge TV fanatic. I was. I would watch TV all day. I don't watch TV at all. I sit and indoctrinate myself with videos of carnivore, podcasts of carnivore. I don't even, because I feel like if I stop listening and I stop doing it, then my old habits will come back. So it's been a whirlwind of just, you know, me staying focused on my goals now. It just,
Mhm.
it's been great.
Awesome. That is wonderful. Um, well, Chuck, what advice would you give to someone just starting out on carnivore? Or if you could have said something to make yourself think otherwise when you were still so heavy and still trying to do the vegan thing, what advice would you give somebody?
I would tell them to don't let fear rule you. Don't be afraid to venture out. try something different, you know. And again, know your why. If you're looking at yourself and you're not happy with the person that you see, change it. You're the only person that can change it, so you need to change it. And don't let anyone deter you from your goals. Don't let naysayers deter you from your goals. You know what you want for yourself, so you have to go and get it. And that's just what it is. You have to want it.
Well said. Absolutely well said. Well, Chuck, can you let everyone know where they can find you if they want to connect with you?
Yes, I'm on Instagram. My handle is audacious_Bates at Instagram. And I'm starting a YouTube channel. I'm still trying to learn how to do that. So I will be posting to YouTube. It's still Audacious Bates on YouTube as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Chuck. Thank you so much for getting on here, telling your story. Someone is going to listen to this and you are going to inspire them more than you'll ever know.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your stories and what you're doing for the community. And I want you to keep doing that. You're a beautiful person. Keep doing that.
Yes, absolutely. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm going to be here.
Awesome.
That's it for today. Until next time, stay meaty, stay strong, and stay inspired. Do you have a carnivore story to tell? Connect with me on Instagram at meet, MEAT, Mrs. MRS Grubs, GRUBS. I would love to interview you, and the world needs to hear your story and how meat heals. Thanks so much for watching and all your support. Bye-bye till next time.